Hello again. We're back. Okay, so just a heads up, if you have been watching our lives the last couple of days, we started on Nat and Jody page, and now we're here again on the House Sitting Academy page. And no, we're not going to run through all the inclusions of the Academy again today. We actually saw a really good opportunity because we got a lovely email from 23-year-old Ellie in New Zealand who said she wanted to up her house sitting game. Nice. She started middle of the year and she's been house sitting around New Zealand, which is what's suiting her at the moment, but looking for some tips for when she's ready to go international. I think it was next year. So Ellie, when you do come online, please let us know if it was next year that you're wanting to head out. So we just asked her and said, hey, would it be okay if we do this as a live house sitting profile critique?
Yes, so we can all learn.
That everybody can sort of get the tips firsthand.
Yes.
Now, we could have gone and set up a whole bunch of technological doodahs and things and tried to share our screen, but
it's Sunday, so we didn't do it.
So we're
having a day of rest.
Kia ora, Stacey!
Hey,
Yay! Stacey's here in the house.
Good to see you, girl.
So how funny is that? Stacey's coming through from New Zealand, and that is where Ellie is from. So cool. Before we get into Ellie's profile, and we're just going to be showing the computer screen, we're not going inside to screen share. Nat, thank you for the hearts. Please keep them coming.
Thanks,
Nat just wants to run through a few sort of key elements of setting up a profile, and we're talking house sitting, of course, but whether it's house sitting, whether it's for your Airbnb profile, couch surfing, even look at it as even from a standpoint of a resume, anything where you're having to put your best foot forward. So yeah, I'll hand it over to the maestro.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I thought we would start with mindset, because I think that's the most important thing to address. And I'm going to refer to my notes, so do excuse me, I did write some notes because I thought it was really important that we cover off some really key points today and really hit those. So one of the first things is to really think about how you're actually going to approach your profile in the first place. So like any marketing, it's really important that you actually talk to the reader, the person that's actually going to be reading it. And in this case, it's going to be a homeowner. So it doesn't matter whether you're house sitting or you're doing Airbnbs or whatever, but in this case we're talking about house sitting. You need to be in the best interest of the homeowner if you really want to stand out. So that is one of the key things. And I guess like any marketing too, it's about selling the benefits of why they should choose you. So for example, in marketing, if you were to buy a vacuum cleaner, it's not really important about all the features of the vacuum cleaner. What you want is actually the benefits of the vacuum cleaner, that you don't have to get down on your hands and knees and actually pick up the dirt and the dust and all those sorts of things. So that's what it actually does. So it's a bit the same in terms of marketing for this as well, is like, what are the benefits of actually having you as a house sitter? Now, if you're a young house sitter in this case, what are the benefits of having a young house sitter over a mature house sitter? Now, that was one of the things that Ellie actually talked about was everybody asked for a mature house sitter. So it's like, okay, what are the benefits of being a young house sitter then? So how about that you're young and you're vibrant?
Well, actually, I'll step in because we have had a look at Ellie's profile and she's done a really great job of pointing out that she loves the outdoors, she's really fit, and she is the perfect person to take your dogs for super long walks.
Exactly, that would be the thing. So you're going to be fit and you're going to be healthy and all those sorts of things. So that's a benefit to a homeowner, that you could keep up with the dogs if there was dogs involved in the house sit. So that's really cool. So it is about thinking about those mindset things. And putting across your certainty as well, because as a homeowner, you want to know that the house sitter that you get in is actually going to be able to do the house sit with certainty and reliability and take on the responsibilities and be able to see those through. So you really need to put that through and have an essence of that right throughout your house sitting profile. Now, a lot of people struggle with actually putting forward their best foot and sort of not, I guess, sounding too egotistical, like you. It's, I guess, difficult for people to sort of go, I'm really good at this and I'm really good at that type thing. It's not in our human nature to be able to do that too comfortably. But in a house sitting profile, you really do need to be able to do that and put those forward to a homeowner so they know exactly what you actually are good at, what qualities you have, and whether that's going to be suitable for them and their pets. So it's really finding that middle balance between underselling yourself and overselling yourself. You don't want to make up things as either and say that you're really good at looking after pools if you've never looked after a pool before, because you might actually have to look after a pool. So you really don't want to make up stuff on your profile either. You just need to be really truthful and really honest and yeah, just be yourself. So that's it. I think that's the main things for the mindset part and your attitude towards writing your profile.
Yeah, I guess I'll probably just add to the mindset part with regards to what you're applying for. So when you're actually applying for your house sits, set your own intention, and if they've put some photos up, you know, really use that power of visualization and sort of see yourself there and feel into whether you are truly seeing yourself there or not. And that energy actually will go into your application as well. So there's sort of that part of, you know, keeping in the mindset of being of service, and Nat was talking about the benefits there, not just the features. It's like, you know, yes, I am a capable, young, trustworthy, non-smoking, non-drinking, you know, person, but it's sort of from the application standpoint. You may have even heard of this saying, what's in it for them, or what's in it for me, the WIFM. So put yourself in the shoes of the homeowner and start to sort of think of the benefits of the benefits. So it's kind of like, hey, you know, even if you are applying for a sit that has said, you know, preferred mature couple, then perhaps you could actually be sort of saying, I know you're preferring a mature couple, but I'm actually mature despite my years, and the benefits of having me there as a, you know, fit, healthy young person is I will, and, you know, name the pets, I'll do this, or whatever else. So yep. I just wanted to add that in. Yep,
very cool. All right. Do we want to go to the thing and go?
I think so, because I think Ellie's actually got a really good profile. There's just probably only a couple of little tips that we would suggest. So I'm just going to flip the camera around here. And hello, give us some more likes and hearts. That's always fun. All right, so flipping over to look at the actual Ellie's Trusted House Sitters profile here. Let's have a look. Oh, hang on.
Oh, stand by. Oh, we got technical difficulties here.
There we go.
There we go.
Cool. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew.
Excellent. So Andrew actually spent a lot of time house sitting in New Zealand as well. So this is where Ellie is currently house sitting. So the photo is beautiful, and she's got 8 photos on there. So do you want to start with the photos part, because that's sort of on the Trusted House Sitters profile, it's a pretty big aspect. And the first couple of photos, which definitely matches her profile and matches what she says, the only negative side of that is that the first 3 are all of Ellie's activities, her love of the outdoors. And it's not until photo 4 that we get some pet love. So in most cases, having a love of outdoors, yep, there's a like attracts like factor of that. I mean, if you're going to be house sitting for nature lovers yourself, I would probably just see if you could mix up the order, Ellie, that's all. Just see if you could even throw one of the pet photos a little bit earlier into the swipey part there.
Yes, having something like this as your actual profile photo, because before we saw that your profile photo is this, which is lovely, definitely, and it's a really nice clear shot. And I think that's the other thing with the photos too, you want to make sure that you have clear shots and at least one of them showing your face very clearly, because I think that makes that connection. You're looking at the camera, which is really nice as well. And also if there's more than one of you, and this is not for Ellie obviously, but if there was more than one of you, or Ellie, you were going house sitting with your boyfriend, you would want to make sure that you actually had both of you in the photo. If you've got a family, you want to make sure that all family members are actually in those photos, because the homeowner, I feel, really should be able to see who is actually applying for the sit and not just one person.
And the other side of that is occasionally, I'll just flip back to us for one tick, occasionally our homeowners aren't that tech savvy. So if they're only seeing that one photo, they may not see that little tiny section of Trusted House Sitters that says view all 8 photos.
Yes.
So you want to make that first photo being kind of covering everything. So nice clear face, as Nat's saying, and definitely having a pet involved in that as well. So
yeah, the easiest way to get your photos is, if you're on a house sit, is get your photos on a house sit. And if you haven't got pets and you haven't been house sitting before, then get them around the garden or near a pool or doing something that would relate to house sitting. But if you're in situ on a house sit, I think it definitely is easier for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so next.
All right. So the next big one is the headline. So this is one of our, I'll say it's a bugbear of ours because it definitely has been over the years. This is a very common, and I don't say this in a nasty way, Ellie, but a very common type of headline. Tidy, respectful, responsible animal lover. The number of profiles that say exactly those words in different,
or very similar,
or various variations of those is ridiculous, to be honest with you. So the only way you're actually going to be able to stand out is actually changing your headline, and the way that we've actually, perhaps maybe come back to us.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, technical difficulties again. Oh, we're back. So the way that we've actually said to a lot of Academy members is to actually put forth your profession. So these are the sorts of things that are going to make you unique. So the good thing about putting your profession in the headline is that a homeowner will automatically have some sort of concept about what you're going to be like as a person simply from the occupation that you have or have had in the past.
Yeah, either current occupation or previous occupation, or even something that you're studying or looking to become, and that even could be, upcoming digital nomad or something, like online English teacher or whatever it may be. But what I did point out, what I did see in Ellie's profile, just reading through her experiences, etc., the two things that highlighted for me was she's already 2 years into an aquaculture career, and she's working in a lab at a mussel hatchery, which is fascinating. And I think those kinds of fascinating things, it's like you go through your profile setup and you pretty much have to just put down kind of general occupations. So lab technician is showing in Ellie's profile, but to kind of weave something in and making the most of all the characters that are available in the headline, saying that you have a fascinating, science career, and when you're looking at traveling, you do want to incorporate that. The other thing that struck for me was the SPCA volunteering. I would definitely put that in the headline. To me, that just speaks volumes about the quality of person you are, and people will just absolutely overlook, the fact that you're younger, and, their judgments of whether you're a party animal or not kind of dissipates the moment that they see that you are volunteering, and that you have, a really interesting and environmentally conscious career. So kind of words like that will be attractive factors, that like attracts like thing. It's a bit like if somebody is a vegan, then a vegan homeowner would much prefer to have a vegan in their home rather than having a meat eater coming in and cooking on their pans with meat. We've even found that as a same-sex couple, we have had the like attracts like of house sitting for the LGBT community as well. So there is always that aspect, but that's not to say that you're not going to be house sitting for some grandma who just loves the inspiration of young people, and is really impressed with what you're actually doing as a volunteer and in your career as well. So if you could somehow incorporate that, I can't remember exactly how many characters are in the headline.
Well, each profile, each platform is going to be different, so you really need to work in with the platform that you're on. But you have a limited number of characters. Make the most of it. If somebody said to me that they were a lab technician, then my immediate picture would be of that person that they're very detailed, that they would follow instructions very clearly, they're very methodical. Now, these are sorts of attributes that a homeowner might want, particularly if they're like that, in a house sitter. So it's going to speak, as Jodie said, it's going to speak volumes without you actually even saying anything more than what you do for your job. So really use this as well, and the ASPC thing as well, I think is awesome.
Yeah, I think every country's got a name slightly different. In Australia it's the RSPCA, so New Zealand is the SPCA.
Oh, that one.
All right, so references are great. You've done a great job on getting your references because you've already started house sitting as well. And there was the landlord reference, which is perfect.
Yep.
Going through the about section, really, really nicely written out. Yeah, I mean, do you need to go through that? Do we need to really give Ellie all the details away? Or
No.
Okay. But basically, Ellie, it's a really good about. And again, I think the cool part is what you've done in that section there is ultimately, telling your life story, telling your truth. It's you've talked about. I need to see the kitchen. You've talked about growing up, in a lifestyle block and always having pets and and farm animals around as well. That's really cool, and that you do love the outdoors. And with all of our travels now as well, the number of people that say to us that they cannot wait to get to New Zealand is even, I mean, as an Aussie, we kind of have to do the whole, yeah, I know, I want to go there too. It's sort of, it's amazing. You'll have an attractive factor of being Kiwi, absolutely. Why I want to house sit, the only one there.
This is an interesting question. It's not an easy one to answer either, like where you want to house sit. I think the key thing here is to not put in that you want to go house sitting because you want to travel. Again, you've got to think about the homeowner, what they're looking for in a house sitter. So if you were reading this question yourself as a homeowner, what would you want to read? Why would you want people coming into your house? Now, 80 to 90% of house sits have pets, so that is going to be their number one priority. It's actually usually not about the house so much, it is usually about their pets. So you really need to be incorporating a lot of pet stuff into here as well. But if that is true for you, that you love the pets, you miss them when you don't have them, you've had them before in your life, whatever relates to you, and why you would actually want to be in that house sit as opposed to doing other forms of travel as well. So really looking at that.
My suggestion of this section in your profile, Ellie, is literally just change the paragraphs around. That first paragraph, again, considering that most of the world these days are ADD, holding somebody's attention span is as much of a privilege as you've actually said there about it is a great privilege. So those words would make the first impression. So the first paragraph I would say would be, I consider house sitting to be a great privilege as I'm being trusted with your lovely home and beloved pets. And you can be sure I'll never take this for granted. That is a powerful, powerful sentence.
It's a strong sentence.
I would put that first and then sort of close it out with, I want to house sit because I want to combine my love for animals, pets, and my passion for travel. That would be if they wanted to read on. It feels softer to write it there than sort of the other way around. But really lovely paragraph there. It's really well done.
All right, then the experience. This is where you can go a bit crazy in a house sitting profile if you want to, and if you've got plenty of experience. So this is where you're looking at your job experience. I'll be looking at things like what qualities do you have from your job that could then relate to house sitting. So as we were saying before, you're being meticulous, attention to detail. These sorts of things are really important to homeowners, that they know that they can leave a set of instructions for you and you are going to follow them. So thinking about your jobs or your previous experience and your life experience in general, what qualities do you have that a homeowner could use? So again, putting those into your experience, either your job experience, your house sitting experience, have you had any training in pets or pools or garden care or any of the courses or training you may have done, or just an interest you've had in those things over the years.
And again, everything you've got here is awesome. That you've actually got experience in providing medication to cats and dogs.
Big one.
Awesome.
That's a really important one.
That you've had the farm animal experience. The only thing that I would add to this section with what Nat's talking about is just a couple of bullet points, and I think you can do them as dashes. I'm not sure if they allow the ticks or whatever else on the Trusted Housesitters platform, but if a couple of bullet points just breaks the eye up again. It's kind of like remembering that, again, everyone on the planet these days is ADD. It's like we scan read all the time. We take that first 3 or 4 seconds as a first impression all the time. It's just the way the world is. So to add a little bit in there about the parts that you love about your career and what you're studying and how you're helping, with this unique and, forward-thinking work that you're doing, is sort of like point out a couple of those attributes. It's like, even my experience as a lab technician in this, world first environment, my responsibilities are and think of it again from the homeowner standpoint. What would they love? Would they love to know that you have that eye for detail, that you catch things that happen, that you have that real, caring and nurturing kind of aspect to all creatures, great and small, all of those things, plants and animals and everything. So that would probably be it, but all in all...
just in the last line you said that you have got an up-to-date New Zealand police check. That's awesome. I know different platforms have different police checks that they have available and things like that. If in this particular profile, oh no, it's not there. I was going to say I thought it actually was right up the top that it said that you had a police check. I would put that into your introduction as well. Just throw that in, because I think that's giving homeowners a peace of mind. Don't forget, your introduction is the very first thing that they'll read about you. So if they are then interested in you, they will read on. So you really need to make that introduction short and punchy, with packing it in with lots of references to the references, so your police check and stuff as well.
Okay,
I think that's about it.
House sitting profile critique.
Yes.
Thank you so much for volunteering your profile to us, Ellie, and thank you so much for asking the question in the first place. You are absolutely going to kill it when you start traveling with your boyfriend next. I think it's next year, you said. And hey Tracy, how you doing? And Andrew, as a fellow Aussie, has said here that he loves New Zealand. So many great sits there as well.
Awesome sits, yeah.
Well, I'm actually going to be in New Zealand for the very first time in my life in November to visit Stacey. Yay!
Yay!
I'll be tapping hearts myself, Stacey. So yes, it's been a long time coming for me. I should have got there years ago, but I didn't. So Nat can't wait to show me around.
Awesome place.
And Stacey can't wait to show us around either.
Yes.
So yeah, hopefully that's been helpful. There's been yay. There's been some really good tips shared there, but that making the most of the headline, the photos, just remembering, first impressions are important, really, really important.
Yep.
And everybody is a little bit ADD these days.
Yeah, but the time and effort you put into your profile, the more you do that, the more it will pay off for you. Because don't forget, this is going to take you around the world potentially.
And energetically, it comes back to you as well. I mean, even if there's any homeowners watching this right now, the same amount of sort of energy that goes into a homeowner profile is what attracts the best house sitters as well. So it's a two-way street.
Absolutely it is. All right, cool. That's it from us.
Okay.
And
any questions, give us a shout.
All right. Have a great Sunday/Monday, depending on wherever you are.
Exactly. All righty. Hasta luego. Bye.